There are over 1.2 million lawyers in the United States. In today's video, we're going to figure out how to whittle that down to one for you. Stick around. Hey out there, welcome back. My name is Rob. I'm a wedding industry attorney, and in today's video, we're talking about how to find a lawyer for your wedding business, a trusted counsel, an advisor, someone to talk shop, to provide you the protection that you need in your business's operations. Because sometimes it's not easy, depending on what city we live in or what state or jurisdiction, they can be tough to find. So we're going to be talking today about how to separate the wheat from the chaff, separate the good from the bad so that you get the legal advice that you need. First thing is this: before we can select from an array of choices, we need to be able to find those choices. So how do we find a lawyer before we can even select whether or not they're good for us? I have two recommendations for that. The first one is by referral from someone that you know that's also a wedding professional that has someone that they like and that they use. So if you're a wedding venue operator, ask another wedding venue operator, hey, who's your attorney? Do you like him or her? Is she doing you right? This type of thing. And because most of the time, you're going to be able to cut through a lot of investigation by going with someone that you trust, they trust. So referral from someone else that is in your position. The next best thing that I would recommend in finding a lawyer is through organizations. So there are a million, bajillion, gazillion wedding associations in the United States. You got WIPA, NACE, ILEA, Wedding Network USA, whatever, Surfing USA. Go to the board, the committee, the education committee or whatever, ask them, because sometimes, with professional organizations, they have a kind of a professional recommendation list, a referral list. And so they might say, yeah, for business stuff, for wedding professional, for wedding venues, we send them to, Jane, Cusack over here on Main Street. So using your wedding associations, your professional associations that you're already a part of, that would be the next best thing. So you've got your 3 or 4 options, your 3 or 4 referrals from your buddies or your association. How do you then whittle that down to the one attorney that you want to work with? The first consideration is going to be experience. And what I mean by experience is time and number of clients that this attorney's handled that are similar to you. So on one end of the spectrum, you've got a attorney that just graduated last year. On the other end of the spectrum, you have an attorney that graduated 60 years ago, right? So the person that just graduated, they might have 2 or 3 clients, but what do they really know? Versus the 60-year veteran might have dealt with a situation like yours 1,000 times. So there is value in that. I'm not saying that you have to hire the person, the 80-year-old lady, but at the same time, someone who can speak anecdotally, can speak from, years of data, there is value to that. There is value to that. So if you do have the option of somebody that has 10 years versus somebody that has 4 years, the 10-year may often be a better selection for you. So experience and how do you get to that? How do you find that out? Ask questions. Ask questions. Hey, how long have you been representing wedding venues? How long have you been representing wedding DJs? Have you litigated any cases? Do you file a lot of trademarks for DJs? These type of questions, like how often are you seeing this? So experience both in time and number of times your particular situation has been handled. The second consideration, and I probably should have put this at the first consideration because I think it's the most important one, but that is, what is the focus of the attorney's practice? And what I mean by that is that wedding law and wedding lawyers and the wedding industry encompasses many buckets. You might have an issue that you need help with on taxation. You might have an issue that you need help with regarding employee benefits, or whether or not you're responsible for having caused a COVID outbreak or a contract dispute. These are all distinct area of the law. And there are very few lawyers that are really great at all of those things. So by way of example, I know enough about intellectual property to be dangerous. My focus and my area of expertise is around contracts and litigating issues of contracts in general. So if somebody has to file a lawsuit because someone breached a contract, that's typically my strong suit, and I would refer out trademark issues or employment discrimination issues and that kind of stuff. And that's because it's very difficult to be very good at many different buckets, many different areas of law. So if you're needing help in taxation, then you want to make sure that your attorney focuses a majority of their practice on taxation in order to get the best representation. So what does the attorney focus their practice on? Ask them again, just like you would ask them about with the experience. How many times have you handled this particular issue? Does your practice only do this type of issue? With the idea that if they are limited to that one thing, they're probably going to be better than the attorney that does many different things. Although it's not necessarily the case, that's more likely to be the case. So again, what is the attorney's focus on? And if their focus is on whatever your issue is, then that's going to be a really good indicator that they might be a good fit for you. So the next consideration in selecting and how to select an attorney for you is going to be personality. Because I mean, the attorney can be great, award-winning, got $1 million verdict, or has filed 150,000 trademarks. But if you can't stand their guts, then that's going to be a big problem. Okay, so do you jive with them? Like, do they speak your language? Do they speak your parlance? Do you want to punch them in the face every time you see their picture? So before you hire the attorney, read the copy of their website. I think that can be a really good indicator of the type of person that you're dealing with. So do you enjoy what they've put on their website? Do they have videos? If they have videos, do you enjoy what they're saying? Because, I mean, depending on the situation that you have, you might be dealing with that attorney for many hours or for many sessions. And so if you dread that because they're a jerk, then you might want to go to the next attorney. So personality, don't push personality to the side. Personality can be, pretty important, because hopefully you're developing a relationship with an attorney that you're going to have for a long time. So don't skip on that. Personality. Do you like this person? Okay, so the fourth and last consideration when selecting an attorney is going to be their pricing model. How do they price their services? And let me just say this, and I've addressed this in other videos, but the idea is that you for almost any situation, you should not be paying an attorney by the hour. You should try to find an attorney that is going to offer a flat fee model. So if it's a contract, if it's in a corporation, if it's a trademark, if it's a copyright, whatever the case is, you're trying to find somebody that charges you by the service on a flat fee. So that way you know how much it's going to cost and what you're going to get. There are select situations in which by the hour is going to be for today in 2021. That might be more common and might be the only way you're going to find it. So for example, litigation. There are very few attorneys that have the capability, that have the training to try a case, but charge you a flat fee. And the reason why is because it's like, trying to anticipate the weather 6 months from now. It's impossible. You don't know whether or not you're going to put 100 hours into something or 5 minutes. So litigation is an area in which still by the hour is, not uncommon. But for anything else, you got to try to find an attorney to do flat fee. If they are charging you by the hour for contracts, that's a red flag. So all that being the same, I don't even know why I said that. All things being equal is what I meant to say. I'm creating my own idioms. Make sure that the attorney has experience in both in time and number of clients, that they focus their practice in the area that you're wanting representation for. Make sure that they have a good attitude, and that you don't have any fear in communicating with them, and they don't make you feel small or feel like a jerk. And then finally, make sure that their pricing fits with not only your budget, but with the idea that it should be a flat fee per service. And if you have all of those bases covered, then you should have a fantastic attorney. I hope that you enjoyed the content of this video. New videos every week here at Wedding Industry Law. Mondays are when they come out. If you got any suggestions, please hit me up. I'm on Instagram at Wedding Lawyer. Please say hi, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. With that, folks, we'll see you next time.